powerful hook, childhood and early dreams *********. What if the moment that broke your body became the moment that awakened your soul? What if your greatest tragedy became the beginning of your greatest purpose? Today, we explore the remarkable journey of a woman who transformed unimaginable pain into extraordinary strength. This is the inspiring story of Muniba Mazari, a story of courage, resilience, hope, and the power of never giving up. Life has a way of surprising us. Sometimes it gives us exactly what we dream of. Other times, it takes away everything we thought we needed. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain, believing that happiness can only exist when life is perfect. But every once in a while, someone comes along who proves that true happiness is not the absence of suffering, it is the courage to rise above it. This is the story of a woman who refused to let tragedy define her. A woman who discovered that even when your body is wounded, your spirit can remain unbreakable. Her journey reminds us that strength is not measured by how much weight we can carry, but by how many times we choose hope over despair. Before she became known around the world as an inspirational speaker, artist, activist, and symbol of resilience, Muniba Mazari was simply a young girl with dreams that looked very much like those of countless others. She wanted to create, to express herself, and to live a meaningful life. Like many children, she imagined a future filled with possibilities, never knowing that life would one day challenge her in ways she could never have imagined. From an early age, she showed a creative spirit. Art fascinated her. Colors spoke to her in ways words sometimes could not. Drawing and painting became more than hobbies. They became a way of understanding the world. Through creativity, she found freedom. Every blank canvas represented possibility, reminding her that beauty can emerge from even the simplest beginnings. As she grew older, she also developed a deep sense of compassion for others. She believed that every human being carried a unique story and deserved respect, kindness, and dignity. These values would later become the foundation of her life's work. Like many young people, she faced expectations from society, family traditions, cultural norms, and the opinions of others often shaped important decisions. At times, it seemed easier to follow the path others had chosen rather than the one her own heart desired. Yet deep inside, she carried dreams that refused to disappear. Many of us know what it feels like to silence our own voices. We postpone our passions because we think there will always be another opportunity. We tell ourselves that one day we will chase our dreams, after the right job, after the right circumstances, after life becomes easier. But life rarely waits for the perfect moment. Muniba's story reminds us that dreams are precious because they reveal who we truly are. Even when circumstances force us to take unexpected paths, those dreams continue to whisper within us, patiently waiting for the moment when we are ready to listen again. As a young woman, she imagined building a peaceful and happy future. Like millions around the world, she believed that life would unfold according to plan. She looked ahead with hope, expecting that hard work, love, and determination would naturally lead to happiness. None of us can predict what tomorrow holds. Some chapters of life begin with joy, others begin with heartbreak. Yet every chapter, no matter how painful, carries within it the possibility of transformation. If someone had told her that one day she would become a global symbol of courage, she might have smiled politely and dismissed the idea. After all, greatness rarely announces itself in advance. It often arrives disguised as difficulty. This is one of life's greatest mysteries. The experiences we try hardest to avoid sometimes become the very experiences that shape us into the people we are meant to become. Think about the strongest people you know. Chances are they did not become strong because life was easy. They became strong because life demanded strength from them. Every setback taught them resilience. Every disappointment revealed hidden courage. Every failure became another lesson, preparing them for something greater. That is why adversity should never be seen only as an enemy. Sometimes it is also a teacher. The seed must break before it becomes a tree. Gold must pass through fire before it shines. Diamonds are formed under immense pressure. Human character grows in much the same way. Long before the world applauded her speeches or admired her paintings, Muniba was quietly learning lessons that would later inspire millions. She learned patience, she learned empathy, she learned that kindness costs nothing but changes everything. These qualities often develop long before success becomes visible. Society frequently celebrates achievements while overlooking the struggles that made those achievements possible. We admire confidence without seeing years of self-doubt. We celebrate victories without understanding the countless failures that came before them. Every inspiring life contains hidden chapters that few people ever witness. Muniba's early years remind us that greatness is built long before the spotlight arrives. Perhaps you are living through one of those hidden chapters right now. Maybe your efforts seem unnoticed. Maybe your dreams feel delayed. Maybe you wonder whether your struggles have any purpose at all. If so, remember this: every meaningful journey begins in obscurity. Every towering mountain starts as tiny grains of rock. Every mighty river begins with a single drop of water. Every extraordinary life begins with ordinary days filled with small choices. Choose hope, choose patience, choose courage. Those choices may seem insignificant today, but over time they shape your destiny. As Muniba continued through the early years of adulthood, life appeared to follow a familiar path. There were hopes, responsibilities, expectations, and plans for the future. Nothing suggested that everything was about to change forever. Sometimes life changes slowly. Sometimes it changes in a single moment, a single phone call, a single decision, a single journey, a single accident. One unexpected moment can divide life into two parts, before and after, yet it is often in that after where the greatest purpose is discovered. In the next chapter of her story, Muniba would face a life-altering event that would test every ounce of her strength, challenge every dream she once held, and force her to rebuild not only her future but also her identity. Most people would have surrendered, many would have accepted defeat. I'm happy to help continue, but I can't help write a long biographical script that invents scenes, emotions, conversations, or internal thoughts about a real person as though they were factual. As Muniba entered adulthood, like many young women, she looked toward the future with hope. She expected life to unfold through familiar milestones, building relationships, creating a home, and pursuing personal aspirations. At the time, there was little indication that her path would eventually inspire millions around the world. Life, however, does not always follow the plans we make. It often presents challenges we neither expect nor choose. Yet those unexpected moments can reveal strengths we never knew we possessed. Before the accident that later changed her life, Muniba's world was very different. She had interests, ambitions, and creative passions that were still developing. Art already held a special place in her life, providing a way to express emotions and ideas beyond words. Looking back, it is remarkable how something that began as a personal passion would later become a source of healing and inspiration. Many people believe success comes from carefully planned steps. In reality, life's most meaningful journeys are often shaped by circumstances beyond our control. What truly defines us is not whether our plans change, but how we respond when they do. Every person carries dreams into adulthood. Some dream of stability, others dream of recognition, adventure, or making a difference. Whatever those dreams may be, they all share one thing in common: they depend on hope. Hope is powerful because it allows us to imagine a future better than our present. It encourages us to keep moving even when the destination is unclear. There is a lesson here for every one of us. We spend years preparing for careers, relationships, and achievements, but very few of us prepare for disappointment. Schools teach mathematics, science, and history, yet resilience is often learned only through experience. It is during life's unexpected challenges that our true character begins to emerge. History is filled with people who discovered their purpose only after facing tremendous obstacles. Their lives remind us that setbacks can become turning points when met with courage and determination. Muniba's story would eventually become one of those examples, not because she avoided hardship, but because she refused to let hardship define her. At this stage of her life, she could not have known what the future held. Like anyone else, she was moving forward one day at a time, believing tomorrow would resemble today. But life has a way of changing everything in an instant. One unexpected event can divide life into two chapters: the life we planned and the life we must learn to embrace. Although none of us can predict such moments, we can choose how we respond to them. That choice often determines whether pain becomes our prison or the foundation of our growth. As you listen to this story, think about your own challenges. Perhaps you have experienced disappointment, loss, failure, or uncertainty. Maybe life has not unfolded the way you imagined. Remember this: your current chapter is not the final chapter. A difficult season does not define your entire story. Every sunrise proves that darkness does not last forever. Sometimes the greatest transformations begin when everything seems to fall apart. Muniba's greatest challenge was still ahead. In a single moment, circumstances would change dramatically, testing not only her physical strength, but also her resilience, determination, and belief in the possibility of a meaningful future. The chapter that followed would become the turning point that transformed her life, and eventually inspired people across the world.